organizations on our website at charitynavigator.org. We don't care what they do. We only want to know if they're going to spend your money appropriately in the way that you want. You can go to our site right now. You'll find a list of charities that are working for Hurricane Katrina.
Give us
who
some
are
of the
doing
best
a great
ones
job.
here.
Right now, you can trust American Red Cross, AmeriCares, America's Second Harvest is feeding people, Convoy of Hope. Mercy Corps is another good one. There's another 10 or 12 on our site that are going to spend your money appropriately, who have done this kind of work before. That's what's really important in a crisis like this. It's not the time for amateurs. It's not the time for people who have good intentions but have never done this kind of disaster relief before. You need a large, serious organization who has done this kind of work before and will spend your money appropriately to make sure that they do the most that they can today.
Couple of things. Telemarketers, don't do it, right? Don't donate money over the phone?
If someone calls you on the phone, the odds are they don't work for that organization. They're a professional fundraiser, and they're going to keep somewhere between 25 and 95 cents of every dollar that they collect for their efforts. If you like who calls you on the phone for some reason, hang up, call the charity yourself, and you'll ensure that 100% of your donation gets to the charity. You're also just more likely to get scammed when anybody calls you on the phone. It could be fraud. They could want your credit card. Good charities right now don't have time to call you. They're busy. If they call you on the phone, be wary.
Talked to the president of the Red Cross earlier this morning, and she said, yes, we need money, we need blood. We could also use some volunteers in some of our centers. So if people want to do something physically, what can they do?
Call the Red Cross, and they're happy to take you. But remember that what's not going to happen is you're not going to go down and throw sandbags in the water.
Right.
What you're going to do is you're going to open envelopes, you're going to work the phones, you know, because that's what they need right now. So you can help, but it's not going to be the sexy kind of, you know, disaster relief work where you're going to carry bodies out of the water. That's being done by trained professionals. Right now, what you can do is you can help answer the phones, you can open envelopes, and you can donate blood, because right now, what's happening is it's not that the people in New Orleans need your blood.
They're not giving blood,
that
right?
The people in New Orleans aren't able to give blood right now. We're talking about 2 million people who normally would make frequent blood donation trips. We need to make up that difference nationwide. All
right, that's great. Trent Stam from Charity Navigator, we appreciate it so much. And we want to turn now to BET, because next Friday they are going to hold a telethon to raise money for the victims of Katrina. So we want to tell you all about that. Deborah Lee joins us this morning. She's the CEO of BET. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Hannah.
Why did you guys decide to get involved?
Well, we started hearing the tragic stories coming out of New Orleans and Mississippi and Alabama. The first call I got was on Sunday, and what we heard initially was a lot of African Americans, minorities, poor people were not leaving and not able to leave on the news of this hurricane. So we started running crawls on BET, and, you know, we have a network, and these were our viewers. So we wanted to be helpful. So the first thing we did is started running crawls telling people to get out if they could. Then the hurricane hit, and we started hearing the horrible stories of the plight of people in Louisiana and Mississippi. And we said, what can we do as a network? And my senior management team said, let's do a telethon. And Mark Morial, the former mayor of New Orleans, called us immediately. He's with the Urban League now. Artists started calling, people that have ties to New Orleans and Mississippi, Wynton Marsalis, David Banner, who's a rapper from Mississippi. Everybody wanted to help, and we figured this was the best way for us to get everyone together and try to raise as much money as we could.
You know, people have lost their lives and their homes and their jobs, and then we think of the cultural implications of the wonderful music and everything out of New Orleans. You guys have a jazz network. Has that helped some of these musicians sort of come together to be anxious to raise money for that area so that that very important cultural center is not lost?
Yes, they are very concerned about New Orleans as a jazz mecca, and they want to do something, and what they do best is perform. So we'll have all kind of artists performing, talking about their families. You know, there are people that have lost everything. Juvenile is another artist who's lost everything. They can't reach their family members. So jazz is so important to New Orleans, but as I said, Mississippi is important too. Morgan Freeman is from there and wants to do something. So this is just a great way for us to say to these artists, if you want to come on, come on. If you just want to talk, if you want to perform. So the musical, but you know, it's all about the ordinary people also.
Absolutely. We want to point out that your donations are going to be going directly to the Red Cross. We hope that you raise lots of money, Deborah Lee, and thank you so much for your efforts, and good luck organizing that.
Thank you. Thank you for getting the word out.
Absolutely. You can check out the BET Telethon. That's going to be next Friday on September 9th. You can also find out more about relief efforts on our website. Just check them all out, cbsnews.com. We have lots of information for you so that you can help. Now here's Julie in Los Angeles.
All right, thanks, Hannah. Many people who have lost everything in Hurricane Katrina have few places to turn for help. But one huge family that fled from New Orleans is relying on each other and their faith to make it through. Reporter Nicole Murray from our CBS station KLFY in Lafayette, Louisiana, has the story of the Zimmerman clan.
If you think your family is big,
everybody's still here that we're missing.
You obviously haven't met the Zimmermans.
We have 104.95 people. The .95 is a cousin who is 9 months pregnant.
Do you need name tags, or would that make everything a little bit easier?
Absolutely not. We know each other very well. We're together an awful lot.
The Zimmermans and their offshoots are all from the greater New Orleans area and were forced from their homes last week just before Hurricane Katrina roared through the Louisiana Gulf Coast. All 104 family members not only kept in touch during a time when cell phone coverage is spotty, they even managed to book 23 rooms at the Lafayette Hilton Hotel, where the entire clan is currently taking up residence.
If you think the sheer number of people in this family is incredible, well, we haven't even gotten to the Noah's Ark that's traveling with them. Let's go over the numbers. We have 3 cats, 13 dogs, and 6 birds.
All kidding aside, the family is hoping they have something to go home to. So every morning, the entire clan gathers in the downstairs lobby to pray.
We love each other, but what is the glue that is keeping us somewhat together is our faith.
We've pulled together, we talk together, we cry together.
And they even sing together.
God bless New Orleans, my home, sweet home.
In Lafayette, Louisiana, I'm Nicole Murray for CBS News.
And Julie, who knows what they've lost in terms of their property, but at least they have the knowledge. They don't have any anxiety. They know everyone in the family is safe and well, and that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yes, they're lucky to have their lives and each other and their faith. All right, thanks a lot, Hannah. We'll be right back. This is The Early Show on CBS.
My toes were numb when I walked.
My life was miserable because of plantar fasciitis.
I was born with flat feet, and my feet hurt me all my life.
My knee was in pain for over a year and nothing was working.
You can't imagine what 20 years of back pain is like.
I knew I needed a better solution for my bunions than what the doctors were telling me.
From the moment I stood on the Good Feet arch support, I felt immediate relief.
The Good Feet store in Greenville, South Carolina, and Hendersonville, North Carolina.
I was surprised that the Good Feet arch support system could do so much.
Every home has a rhythm of its own, and now, finally, there's an air freshener that's in tune with it. Introducing new Airwick Freshmatic, an automatic spray you simply set at intervals of 9, 18, or 36 minutes. It delivers wonderful bursts of fragrance that keep your home smelling fresh for up to 2 months. New Airwick Freshmatic, set it to the rhythm of your home.
The year is 1906. An earthquake ignites a series of events, leaving San Francisco in ruins. Ford's newest offering, the Model N at $500. The Olympics return to Athens, and in South Carolina, a small group of visionaries establish a college chartered to help men and women become what God has designed them to be. 100 years have passed, yet our vision is as clear today as it was the day our founders met. We are Southern Wesleyan University, celebrating our centennial year.
Smart is saving 25 to 65% on back to school. Genius is finding all the hottest brands. Brilliant is getting all your shopping done at Prime Outlets with names like Reebok Outlet Store, Ann Taylor Factory Store, Pottery Barn Outlet, Tommy Hilfiger, Banana Republic Factory Store. Over 70 stores at 25 to 65% off. Prime Outlets Gaffney, the power of passionate shopping.
Mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Before we leave you, here's a preview of tonight's CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
Tonight, the latest on the devastation from Hurricane Katrina. The death toll is rising, as is the desperation of the survivors. The story on tonight's CBS Evening News.
We also want to bid goodbye for now to Harry Smith down in Mississippi, where, Harry, the situation just seems so overwhelming and just unbelievably frustrating for the people there.
The best way I heard it put last night, these two small businessmen came up to me and they said, you know what, down here we're self-reliant. We don't rely on the government for anything, no way, no how. He said, but we are desperate. We need help down here. And just now, for the first time, I've just seen a National Guard vehicle pull up in this town. So maybe help is on the way.
That's great. 10,000 National Guard expected to be sent to the region soon. And Julie, I know you have a reminder of how people can help.
Absolutely. Go to the Early Show website. We have a list of several charities heading up the Hurricane Katrina relief effort. If you want to contribute, just head to cbsnews.com.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines for the big American Red Cross motorcycle drag race.
Wouldn't it be great if life worked like this parking meter? I could keep putting quarters in and stay here with my family forever. Of course, life doesn't work that way. That's why I bought life insurance from Colonial Penn to help make sure my final expenses won't become my family's problem. And it costs me about $1/4 a day.
For about $1/4 a day, just $7.95 a month per unit, Colonial Penn offers guaranteed acceptance life insurance to people ages 50 to 85. These days, funeral costs alone average over $6,000. Now you can get help with no medical exam, no health questions. And the rate of $7.95 a month per unit is guaranteed never to increase. Remember, if you're age 50 to 85, you cannot be turned down for any reason. After the first 2 years, your benefit will never decrease. As long as you pay your premiums, your coverage can never be canceled, and your policy builds cash value you can borrow against.
Call 1-800-430-2300 to receive free information in the mail. You'll get this handy guide to Social Security absolutely free. That number again is 1-800-430-2300. Call now.
The way I see it, about $1/4 a day is an affordable way to make sure my loved ones have help to pay my final expenses.
And away we go. Adam, you bid $13,785 on your showcase. Actual retail price of Adam's showcase, $16,965. A difference of $3,180. Good bid. And now over to Emily. She's worried. She says, I went over. 26,500 is your bid. Actual retail price, $28,455. You win with a difference of only $19.55. Good bid. Adam, I wish you years of happiness. Thank you so much. Emily, I wish you well, too. Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
Speaking for The Price is Right, a Mark Goodson television production.
Is there a Dr. Barnes here?
Yeah. The long-term results of liposuction depend on what you do as much as on what I do. In other words, I can suck the fat out of your butt, but I can't get it out of your refrigerator.
Out of Practice. Series premiere CBS Monday, September 19th.
Mr. McNeil tortured his family. I need to report the violation of a court order.
What did he do to your mom in the basement?
You will burn in hell for this.
Is this the part where I'm supposed to get scared and start crying?
Close to home. Premiere CBS Tuesday, October 4th.
Overwhelmed by Katrina, the government steps in, but will aid come soon enough? Continuing coverage tonight on the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer. Experience you can trust.
I'm Hannah Storm. Tomorrow, the tragedy along the Gulf Coast. Now, what happens to those poor children in the hurricane zone? A look at what lies ahead for these kids. And you'll see what's going on inside the house on tonight's Big Brother, but what you won't see are some secret scenes. We'll have those for you tomorrow on The Early Show.
A Wall Street superstar murdered in the Hamptons. Money, betrayal, bizarre case, you have no idea. A 48 Hours mystery Saturday.
Hamrick's Labor Day sale is going on now. Look for super specials and 50% off select items in every department. Super savings for everyone in the family on the items you need to get you ready for fall. The most aisles, the best selection, the lowest prices. Hamrick's. Why shop anywhere else?
Drivers just like you count on Safe Auto every day.
She got stopped at a sobriety checkpoint. No problem. The trouble was she lost her proof of insurance. We're sending her a new card.
Keeping you legal is what we're all about.
He rode his bike all summer, but now he needs a car and insurance.
Do you need minimum coverage? We're here 24/7.
Pick up the phone, the call is free. 1-800-SAVE-AUTO. Save Auto.
The biggest Labor Day sale ever.
No down payment and no interest till September 2006.
This weekend at Jeff Lynch Appliance and TV Center.
19-inch color TV with remote, only $67.
Free microwave flip unit with KitchenAid appliance package.
Whirlpool's commercial quality washer and dryer pair, only $4.98.
Frigidaire's huge 26 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator, only $647.
Save up to $600 on Sony, Hitachi, and Toshiba high-definition TVs.
Store-wide savings Thursday through Saturday at Jeff Lynch Appliance and TV Center's Labor Day sale.
News Channel 7 is on your side.
Live and on your side, this is News Channel 7 at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Fred Cunningham. South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford is hearing about long lines and high prices at the gas pump and calls possible dwindling supplies a hiccup in the chain. That's our top story at noon. The governor believes pumping from Louisiana should be back up to 50% capacity by the weekend after the damage from Hurricane Katrina. Sanford has eased some trucking regulations to get the gas to stores, but he believes it may be as long as 2 weeks before prices and supplies return to normal.
The question is, how do we react as individual South Carolinians? Do we react selfishly and say, I'm going to fill up everything I got to watch out just for me and my family, or are we going to operate and band together as South Carolinians and say, look, all I need here is $30 worth. That'll take care of me, and I'm going to leave some for the next guy.
South Carolina's Attorney General says his office can't deal with price gouging complaints until the governor declares a state of emergency. But Henry McMaster says he'll ask the General Assembly to revisit the law to make it easier for his office to investigate price gouging claims. And look at some of these numbers in the Atlanta area. You can see some stations are charging close to $6 a gallon for regular gas. Georgia Governor Sonny Perdue signed an executive order activating that state's price gouging statute. The governor says gas is on the way. He expects Colonial Pipeline, the nation's largest oil products pipeline, to be operational by the weekend. The federal and local governments in New Orleans have their hands full now with looting continuing, thousands of homeless people looking for help, and now gunshots ringing out. Jennifer Donnellan has the latest.
The horrific plight of New Orleans just keeps getting worse as thousands are feared dead under the floodwaters and inside shattered buildings.
Try to play games to get our mind off of drowning.
The total evacuation of New Orleans is underway, but convoys moving refugees from the Superdome were disrupted when shots were fired at military helicopters.
It's a desperate situation here.
Gangs are still looting stores around the city. More than 1,000 police officers have left rescue operations to try to reestablish order. But finally, some hope for the Big Easy. The water has stopped rising as the water level in the city has equalized with the surrounding lake and river. But that is little consolation to desperate residents.
I don't know, I just break down every once in a while.
But help is on the way. The federal government is launching one of the largest relief efforts in history. Navy ships and thousands of National Guardsmen are en route. In Mississippi, the flooding is less severe, but the situation is no less desperate.
The streets are totally covered with debris, with lumber, shingles, furniture, clothes, so that you can't see any asphalt for miles and miles around.
However, with great effort, some services will soon be restored. Officials say the water will be going back on, but nearly 1 million people are still without power. And back in New Orleans, the governor says it will be months before residents can return to the city. Jennifer Donnellan, CBS News, Kenner, Louisiana.
We've been overwhelmed by your generosity to those victims across the Gulf Coast. Our Caring for the Carolinas telethon working with the American Red Cross was supposed to be over by now, but you won't let us stop. Jack Roper's live at the phone bank where the donations keep pouring in. Hi, Jack.
Well, hello. We just can't leave town here on you. The phones keep ringing. Here's the latest total. I'm pretty impressed. $350,000.
That's amazing.
$563. And we started about this time yesterday, and we said, hey, you know, 100,000 would be good.
Yeah.
Well, that came too fast. So we keep resetting our goals now to about $500,000. We'd like to reach that by news time tonight, I think.
People have really been opening their hearts and their wallets for I mean, they have just really
Right.
been reaching out to the folks
Right.
in Louisiana and Mississippi.
Well, and you know, if you can't help yourself, somebody's got to help you. And
Yeah.
these people are beyond helping themselves. It's that desperate, the situation. But we made it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Phones keep ringing. 2 minutes, that's all we want, 2 minutes of your time. And if you'll call us, we can tell you how to do the cash deal. BB&T helps us with that. We can tell you how to mail a check. We'll give you the address, and we can take your credit card information, a debit or a credit card.
Yeah, we got all these people answering
Yeah.
the phones, and here with us now is firefighter Lynn Knox. You're with Boiling Springs Fire Department. Tell us what people have been saying when they've been answering the phone.
They're very heartbroken, and they want to do anything they can. And one young man in particular, Nathaniel, he just had a birthday, and he wanted to donate his $10 that he had received to help out.
Does that just break your heart?
Yeah.
It does.
People are being so generous here.
And you know, we're finding children like this young man will call and say, well, I worked an odd job this afternoon, or I cut the grass, and then the caller will call in and say, my son did this, and I want to double the money, match the money. So, you know, I mean, it starts at home, and obviously a lot of nice people are raising good kids out there.
Definitely.
And, yeah, it carries over. So we're impressed by you, but I know there are those that are watching, and golly, I know you're sick of looking at us, but but heck, we just want the money. All of it goes to the American Red Cross. They know best how to spend your money.
All right. Well, the number's on the screen. Give us a call if you can. Fred, we'll send things back to you now.
All right, Carrie and Jack, thank you. In other news, the couple accused of kidnapping and killing Jim Cockman are in court right now. Solicitor Bob Ariel says he'll seek the death penalty against Jennifer Holloway and David Edens. Attorneys are filing more than a dozen pretrial motions today. The defense told the judge they don't feel they've been given all the information they need to prepare for the trial, which is expected to start sometime in February. We'll have more on what happened in court tonight on News Channel 7. The South Carolina Supreme Court will hear Christopher Pittman's appeal in the murder of his grandparents. The 16-year-old was convicted of the killings in February. Pittman was 12 at the time of the deaths in Chester County. Back in 2001, Pittman's attorneys contended he was under the influence of the antidepressant Zoloft at the time of the shooting. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. 4 Spartanburg County sex offenders face charges for not registering with the sheriff's office, and now investigators want to know if you can help track them down. They are looking for Lauren Waddell, whose last known address is on Maxwell Street in Inman, Roger Hall from North Forest Street in Spartanburg, and Jerry Needham from Paris Bridge Road in Boiling Springs. Deputies also want to track down Kenneth Munster, who is supposed to be living on Woodland Drive in Duncan. They don't have a picture of him. Now call Crime Stoppers at 58 Crime if you know where to find these sex offenders. The father of Tamika Houston has set up a memorial service for this Saturday. He tells News Channel 7 the service will be held at Foster Chapel Baptist Church in Roebuck. The family memorial service will begin at 11 a.m. and the family will accept the public beginning at noon. You're angered about gas prices now, but you may have tougher news ahead. That's coming up. And the mystery deepens as the search for a missing woman turns up nothing. The story just ahead.
You like it spicy. Try Church's new spicy chicken. Get more spice. Same low price. 10 juicy, spicy pieces for $6.99. Church's.
Injured on the job? Getting the runaround? Carol Dennison, an experienced workers' compensation attorney, can represent you through the maze of doctors, insurance carriers, and opposing attorneys.
My goal as the attorney for each one of my cases is to make sure that my client gets all the benefits to which they're entitled.
Call Carol Dennison and staff at 242-1303.
Thank you.
It's the Labor Day sale here at Rug & Home. I mean 60% off woolen silks at only $7.79. I can't wait to tell you we've had a huge shipment of Oriental reproductions. These are pallet-sized and priced to go at $4.29. There are hundreds of handmade wool rugs to choose from, priced at only $299. You heard me right. Contemporaries are even on sale. These are hand-carved 100% wool, priced to go at only $7.99 for the Labor Day sale at Rug & Home.
Where will I go if my allergies flare up?
What if I sprain my ankle?
What if I eat the whole thing?
The Mary Black Physician Group is just around the corner. Our primary care physicians are ready to treat every member of your family. And if you need more specialized care, that same family physician can connect you with just the right specialist. With 31 practices in 14 upstate communities, there's a location near you.
It's so close, I won't get across it.
The Mary Black Physician Group. Anything closer would be a house call.
Oh, yeah. Where's... Oh.
Woohoo! So spicy, so good, so here. Church's new spicy chicken. Try 3 spicy pieces and a biscuit for $2.49. Get spicy.
Around the nation at noon, we've talked about the squeeze on gas, and here's one of the big reasons why: wreckage at the refineries. Hurricane Katrina forced operators to close more than 1/10 of the country's refining capacity and 1/4 of its oil production. To help meet the need, the White House has waived some EPA regulations on blended fuel. Carnival Cruise Line says it is considering a federal request that the company use some of its cruise ships as emergency shelters or help in hurricane relief efforts in some other way. The world's largest cruise line says doing so would be complicated, but that the company is actively taking a look at the proposal. A Nevada woman is missing under unusual circumstances, and her daughters are desperate to find out what happened to their mother. Nito Mayo is described as an active, healthy 64-year-old woman who was last seen at an overlook at Sonora Pass in California. That was about 3 weeks ago. Since then, there has been no sign of Mayo, despite an intensive search in the canyon below the overlook. If you bought a children's bicycle helmet at Target, you'll want to hear this. Nearly 500,000 Back Trails Junior helmets are being recalled because they don't meet government safety standards. They were sold nationwide at Target stores from April of 2004 until last month. The helmets should be returned immediately for a full refund. It is the 1-year anniversary of a horrific terrorist attack in the town of Beslan, Russia. Some haunting images when we come back.
And we've got some sunshine out there, and if that's the type of weather you like, you're going to like that 7-day forecast. All the details are coming up.
You were asked to do some babysitting.
She told me every morning that she would pay me.
And she didn't pay you.
She left a note on my door.
A very derogatory letter about you.
Will this mom do anything to escape her bill?
I paid her everything.
That's not what you said here.
Well, maybe that's my wording and not...
No, I can read English. It's the first prerequisite for this job.
Next, Judge Judy.
She padded her bill.
You're lying.
No, I am not lying.
Yeah, you are.
Today at 4 on News Channel 7.
Picture wearers. We stained a string of pearls in barbecue sauce, not just to prove the stain-removing strength of Efferdent Plus or the freshening power of its Listerine ingredients, but to give every denture wearer the confidence to show those pearly whites. The confident clean of Efferdent Plus.
I'm Linda. I'm the mama. Welcome to the new time out in Inman.
It's the same old story. Girls will be girls.
No, I'm the mama. I'm the mama. I'm the mama. No, I'm the mama.
Girls, I'm the mama. Y'all get on in there.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no need to pretend. For real home cooking real fast, listen to Mama Linda and go to Time Out Restaurant in Inman.
Y'all get on in there.
So for the tastiest food in the entire land, even your mama knows it's Time Out Restaurant in Inman.
During USA Baby's Once a Trimester sale, you'll find spectacular savings throughout the store on cribs, furniture, linens, car seats, strollers, and so much more. Find great buys like this cherry finish ensemble, a 4-drawer chest combo dresser, and a 3-in-1 crib that converts to a day bed, then a full-size bed, all for just $6.99. Stop into USA Baby today, but don't delay. Sale ends soon. In Greenville, USA Baby is located at 3620 Pelham Road, 1/4 mile west of 85. Call 864-527-7900.
Okay, you're on, honey, but just remember, Tennessee is more than a great stage for music. This stage is set for you.
Tennessee's the perfect stage for thrills, family fun, unforgettable memories, and a whole lot of entertainment.
There's nothing like the beauty of a Tennessee fall. This stage is set for you, honey. Come on out and play on it.
Call or click for your free Tennessee vacation guide today.
News Channel 7 is on your side.
Good evening, I'm Pamela Graham.
And I'm Tom Crabtree.
Going beyond the headlines. Asking the tough questions. Getting straight answers. That's what we mean when we say News Channel 7 is on your side.
Around the world at noon, today marks 1 year since terrorists took over a Russian school, leading to a deadly shootout that killed more than 330 people, most of them children. To remember those victims, bells tolled and schools began their academic year with a moment of silence. The photographs of the dead are nailed to walls, pockmarked with holes left by the bullets that killed so many of them. The status of the six-party talks on North Korea's nuclear program is uncertain after a 3-week recess. The U.S., Russia, China, Japan, and South Korea hope to persuade North Korea to abandon its nuclear weapons program in exchange for security guarantees and economic assistance. Mickey Mouse and friends are known and loved all over the world. Now they've got another home at a new Disneyland in Hong Kong. It's got all the familiar favorites, but with a distinctly Asian twist. The beloved American icon is practicing the ancient Chinese art of Tai Chi, with these Hong Kong kids helping to bring Disney magic to the Middle Kingdom. By age 60, almost 80% of men will have experienced the symptoms of an enlarged prostate. One of those symptoms includes problems going to the bathroom, but a new high-tech procedure can correct the problem quickly. Dr. Sean Kneff reports.
Like most men, 60-year-old Harold Bernstein eventually developed an enlarged prostate, or BPH.
My bladder was not emptying, and my kidney was in jeopardy.
Medications could help, but he needed something more immediate. Traditional surgery, called a TURP, would put him in the hospital for a few days, and he could be left impotent.
I had many sleepless nights thinking about that, and about walking around with a catheter for days, if not weeks or months on end.
That's when he heard about the green light procedure.
The green light procedure has several advantages over traditional prostate surgery. First, it's less invasive, it's less painful, and it has little recovery time.
Urologist Dr. Lawrence Yore uses green light and says it's a real advance.
Instead of using electrical energy, uses a laser to vaporize the prostate tissue.
As the prostate grows in size, it can narrow the urethra and block urine flow. During the green light procedure, a small scope is threaded up through the urethra to the point of the narrowing. Then the prostate tissue is lasered away and the urethra is opened. Patients usually go home the same day. The procedure can be repeated if necessary, but the results are immediate and often long-lasting.
Most of my patients who are in their 60s or 70s, we give them a 25-year guarantee.
The green light sure worked for Harold.
No pain whatsoever.
And he says the green light could give many men their life back. Dr. Sean Kneff, CBS News.
Dan is here now with your live Viper forecast. I know we've got at least one more hot day.
Yeah, days in the near 90-degree temperature range are going to be seen the next couple days, but we're going to cool down to the weekend. It's nice to have some good news somewhere. Well, the weather's going to provide it over the next couple of days. Here's a look at Live Viper. It is quiet. Let me put Live Viper on the extended scan across the southeast, bringing in some other radar sites, and we are looking at a whole lot of nothing. High pressure is going to keep us pretty quiet today. You can see that much of the southeast Not only no rain, but in many cases, no clouds. Got to go to Florida and just offshore to see some more clouds and some showers. And some of the Gulf Coast states are going to see the chance of a few scattered showers more towards the water. Nothing tropical, just basically some of those pop-up afternoon thunder showers. We've seen our humidity values lower. We're not going to be looking at the rain chances today. We're going to be looking at a lot of sun, though. 85 now in Greenwood, some more mid-80s toward the Midlands. 82, though, in Anderson, Clemson, and Spartanburg. 81. Greenville, 83. Still looking at some 70s in western North Carolina. Pretty nice day underway. 81 right now in Rutherford. As we head on through the rest of this afternoon, look for plenty of sunshine, just a few passing fair weather clouds. That'll be about it. High temperatures close to 90 on average. Few upper 80s, few lower 90s for the most part in the upstate, and a light breeze out of the northeast. As far as the mountains are concerned, you'll be looking at a few mid-80s. Some of the higher elevations and some of the more northern locales will likely stay in maybe some upper 70s to around 80 or so. Let's go ahead and take a look at the larger view across the southeast over the next 24 hours. Still some relatively hot weather in place across the south, but there's a cold front to the northwest. This is headed our way. We're going to spend the day tomorrow out ahead of this front, which means we're still going to see another day that could have our temperatures near 90. But some milder air is going to come in after that and take our temperatures down a notch as we head through the weekend. Of course, in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, we're paying a very close eye on the tropics and several areas of disturbed weather. 2 tropical depressions out there right now. One of them is named